Hello and welcome to the Tome podcast, the podcast about all things board gaming. I'm your host, Minty, and sat across from me today, my old mate, Pops. How you doing, mate?
All right.
Good. Just quickly before we start, our YouTube is now up and running.
Woohoo!
It
only took all day to upload all the old episodes, and
we've had a few people viewing on there. I can't work out if it's me and Pops that have done all the views or if somebody else has. But please head on over. If you're listening to us on Spotify, please go over and just hit that subscribe button. It'd do us a massive favour. And remember to follow us on Instagram. We are trying to be a bit more active.
yeah, I've lost access to that account now. You stole it from me.
I have, but it means I can do, a bit more.
You can do what I was meant to do.
So please follow us on there. We have done a poll. Make sure you comment on the poll if The Matrix is actually the best film of all time or not.
I'm standing by my original statement.
Somebody did write within seconds of it going up, Matrix Revelations or whatever it is.
Yeah, but I think they were.
I think that's got to be a joke.
I take the sarcasm with a pinch of salt there.
Today's episode is slightly different. We have another worm in the studio with us. I say studio, in my dining room with us. I'll introduce you to them shortly. Today's episode is about the UK Board Game Expo. So it'll be our beginner's guide and the things we're looking forward to. We've got a guest in who has been with me for the last 4 or 5 expos. This year is my driver, so that's really good for me. He's one of my closest friends, and he's a friend of the podcast. I'd like to introduce everybody to Neal.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Good. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You are our first guest, our inaugural guest.
I know, it's great.
We'll just do a little bit to get people to get to know you. I think the best way on a board gaming podcast for people to get to know you is probably your top 5 board games, if that's all right.
Well, that would make sense.
Absolutely.
So I've had a minute or so to prepare this, but in no apparent order. We have Nemesis on there, which has been a great game that we've all played quite a few times together.
Yes.
One, not so many. Also have on the list Mansions of Madness.
Good game.
Yeah, always had lots of fun playing that, and also one that we don't tend to win that often. It seems to be a theme here.
Some people just like to burn the house down.
Yeah, normally you. On this as well, I have Heroes of the Shire, fairly recent game to the collection.
I think that game's going to come up a little bit later as well.
Hopefully. Next one, Journeys in Middle-earth.
The Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Yep, on that base, similar to Mansions of Madness.
Nice.
And Rising Sun.
Love that game. Bondi. Don't know if we can put that in.
Probably not.
3 of those top 5 games of yours are on mine.
Yes, yeah, I'm aware of that. I have similar tastes in that.
That's good. Have you got any... do you do anything else in gaming? Any tabletop games, any card games?
Have a 1 or 2 commander decks of Magic the Gathering. Recently started Lorcana.
Lovely.
Mainly because of you, Minty.
What are you saying?
You're a terrible influence on me.
Absolutely. That's payback for Warhammer.
I don't know what you mean. But as mentioned, Warhammer as well.
Yeah.
And Age of Sigmar, but not played that in a while, actually.
I haven't played for ages, not since the
new edition.
Yeah.
No, when they changed everything. And Dystopian Wars, which will also come up later.
Yes, it will. And that is a newer one that I believe Pops is going to dip his toe, if I may say so. Yeah, it's good. Me and Neal have been playing games for quite a few years now.
1 or 2.
It's been good. Are we happy to move on to the next bit? Yeah. So, we're going to go into our first timers guide now. We're going to start the guide where everybody should start any kind of, lead up to an expo, and that is preparation. My main thing for prep is to pre-book tickets. I believe Essen last year sold out, and there may be an issue this year with tickets. I would say an issue. I don't foresee it being a problem. It hasn't been a problem in years gone by, but nor had Essen sold out before. So definitely pre-book tickets, and maybe parking and train tickets.
Get on the train, have a few tinners at 8 o'clock in the morning, play some board games.
Is your missus picking you up from the train station?
Oh no, I'm going to be driving. I can't have any tinners. Oh.
Surely you can convince her to drop you off and pick you up. Oh no, is she working?
No.
Oh.
But I don't really want the little one coming out at 11 o'clock at night just to pick me up.
Okay.
You forget about the family. You
Yeah.
forget about the
I suppose
family.
my family are coming with us on the Sunday. Yeah, so other prep I like to do is pre-book merch or pre-buy merch from the store. I haven't done that yet this year, just because I can't make my mind up on what I want.
I missed out on the merch last year, which...
Did you not get any last year?
No, I went on the Saturday and it was nearly all gone.
Which is why I suggest pre-booking. I can't remember what year this t-shirt's from.
Lift it. Is it on the bottom? There you go. 2023.
Oh, that is
There you go. Did you know I could read Roman numerals? I am that old.
Another bit of prep I like to do is double check on the website or app, because they do have an app.
Wow. It's the website saved to the homepage.
It says it's an app.
It's not an app.
I like to look on there at the stalls that are there, the people who are going to be there. We have just spent the last, nearly 2 hours between the three of us looking at what's on, who's there, and all that kind of bit. I do that just to make sure, that you don't go expecting somebody to be there and not. For instance, Warhammer aren't there again. This will be the second year that they're not there. I don't know whether that's because they do their own one close to it. They do Warhammer Fest now, don't they?
Yes, but I'm not sure when that's going to be.
No, I think last year it was like 2 weeks before.
Yes, but they're also normally main sponsors, but they're not the past couple of years.
No. Last year was Wayland. I can't remember who they are this year. CEG, and there's quite a few sponsors this year. Wayland are sponsors again. Okay. Just as a quick, I probably should have done this at the start. Obviously, this is our opinion, and this is what we've found suits us over the years. I've said before, I've worked the expo, and then every year since I've gone as a punter. That's nothing to do with the people that go. That's because I want to look at everything and play all the new games. Another bit of prep, I don't know if you agree with this one, Neal, is to make a wish list.
It is useful to know what you're kind of looking for, and so you're not distracted by all the shiny.
Yeah, I mean, when you walk into that first hall, normally hall 1, but this year it'll be hall 2. It's quite overwhelming, the amount of stuff.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah. The other main thing, even though I never normally stick to it, as previous years have shown, is to set a budget.
Yeah, you're very bad at sticking to a budget.
Yeah.
With that in mind, leave the credit card at home.
Yes, definitely. That's pretty much all the prep I do. Is there anything else that you do? Obviously, you book parking, put petrol in the car.
If you want to get there, then definitely put petrol in the car.
Another good idea if you don't want to spend a lot of money on food. I mean, most of the food's reasonably priced at Chow Street.
It's pretty good. It's what you expect from exposition.
You can pack a picnic if you need to. There's some nice green areas outside, and last year it was really hot and sunny.
It was. But you can have your picnic and watch the Viking village.
Yes, absolutely. That's all the prep. Pops, have you got anything to add for prep? I mean, it's your second year this year?
Second year, like last year as a newbie, it was a very eye-opening experience. You walk in there and you're like, wow. I've been to a lot of trade shows, a lot of conferences and stuff, but that was just like in your face. Wow, a lot of stuff. So planning beforehand is really, really useful.
There is something that gives you that wow factor as well, I found over the years. And that's no offence to anybody that goes, but the smell.
Yep.
Those halls are so warm. We went last year and we were all wearing hoodies, and within 4 steps of being inside the hall, they came off.
Yep. It was a sweat box.
So yeah, prepare for that.
Kind of what Neal said, Charles Street, it's decent food. Definitely got to go check that out again. I think I bought like 4 things and everyone was like, how much more are you going to spend?
That's the problem with going one day.
I think I spent more money on food than I did on games last year.
I don't think that'll be the case this year.
No, like Neal said, I should keep the credit card at home.
I think we'll start with day 1. That seems like the logical place to start.
Normally.
My main thing for day 1 is to get there early. I quite like being there early anyway. Obviously, the trade halls open at 9, but the ticket hall opens slightly earlier. It means you can go. You don't have to worry about missing out on promo cards from places like Lorcana. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago? We went to the Lorcana stand first on the Friday.
Oh, we tried to go. It didn't work out that well. The queues
mental.
were halfway down the hall.
Yeah, just to look at 5 cards. That was the most annoying thing about that.
Yes. Last year was also very popular and there were lots of queues going around the stand.
Yes, absolutely. Now, obviously you don't want to miss things like that. We'll get into the whole running to stands at the start of the day kind of thing in a second. Getting there early also helps you take in the atmosphere of the day. It's quite nice just to be able to chill. Make sure you got a bottle of water for the day because, like we said, it's hot and it's a lot of walking and there are a lot of bodies. It's also good outside the halls. There are food places and shops, so it's nice just to be able to check, where all of that kind of stuff is. For me, anyway.
And on your way out of the ticket hall, do grab a program because there'll be all sorts of free goodies from certain stands you can get. There'll be a map in there as well, a list of where everyone is, and you can quite easily find what you need from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Grabbing that program leads on to the bit that we said about earlier, running to that first stand. If there's something you desperately want, one of my other major things for day 1 is if there's something you want, go and get it day 1 as soon as you can. Because things do sell out and some stands do not restock. If they've come from, like Mower Ideas for instance, if they've come from the Philippines or Thailand or wherever they're coming from, they ain't got that much stock with them.
Yeah, we have found on the last day the hall is emptier of normally people, but also stands where people have sold out and they've just gone.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, obviously you can get your map and see where you want to go straight away. What we like to do, it's become a tradition over the last couple of years for me and Neal, is to walk around the halls, take our time, see what's there, where everything is placed. Some stands for companies that we really like have had new stuff when we've gone there where we didn't know that they were going to bring it. So it's always nice to do that nice walk around. I mean, because we go for the 3 days, it's nice to be able to see it. We normally do it before lunch, so then when we come back from lunch we can walk around and go where we need to. So yeah, it's always good to have that walk. I think I've always felt a bit more settled when we do that.
Yeah, you get a placement where everything is. Yeah, especially 3 days, you can be more relaxed.
And that's a very important thing for 3 days. That was going to be like my conclusion-y bit for this is do take your time. It's tiring.
There is a lot to see, and even with going for 3 days, there's bits that we've missed going around.
Absolutely. The walk around is always good if you've got somebody that's going for 1 day as well. I mean, when we took Pops last year, us doing the walk around of all the stalls meant that he could see everything that he wanted to see, and he could see everything. I don't know if he found that good or whether he just wanted to go to see Final Girl and that was it.
No, I didn't even see Final Girl there last year. That's the annoying thing. Well, they're there this year, aren't they? So
yes, they are, and that's where all your money's going to go.
Yeah, great. We can't say because the missus will listen, and
Yeah,
then
no.
she'll know what we're doing.
It's £5, love. £5.
No, £3.50. Yeah, I think the walk around was really useful. Kind of takes that shock away from there. Again, yeah, we went to Magic Madhouse, and I looked at the same game like 3 times that whole day, and I didn't buy it. Now I'm really annoyed because you can't get that game for that price anymore.
Was that the Stranger Things one?
Yes. Now I can't find it for anything less than £50,
Oh, God.
and it was like £29.
Well, that's why you buy it when you see it.
Exactly.
If you want it, you get it.
Yes, that is the thing. I ummed and ahed too much.
As Neal said earlier, we are bad influences. Like, we had somebody with us last year, and he was allowed to buy one game. His missus said he could buy one game, and I think we convinced him to spend over £200.
I think you convinced him to spend that.
No. You can't say that I convinced him for Heroes of the Shire. Do you see it? It's not on the shelf.
Granted, it's a game that I own. But we've spoken to the guys quite a few times over the past several years, and we've got to know them quite well.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is another bonus of going around.
Did some
multiple
upselling.
years.
Yeah. And yeah, it is a good game, to be fair. I don't think he took that much convincing.
No.
He bought the whole lot.
Yeah, he bought everything.
As you should.
Absolutely. Another thing I like to do on day one, normally on day one, is book on demos for games, because sometimes there's lists. Like a nightclub kind of thing. Some people are so busy that they create a list, so you have to book on. I think, was it Earth a couple of years ago, where we tried to book halfway through the Friday, and all we could get was the last thing on the Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely try and get booked onto games you want to try early on. Another thing I like to do on the first day, Neal, I know you do as well, is finding the food outlets. We've already mentioned Chow Street at the Hilton Hotel. I like going there. It's just good street food, Jabberwocky, Toasties, and the English Indian guys are there as well. They do really good fish and chips and onion bhajis and bits.
Yeah, it's very good food that we've consistently good food.
Yes. And as Pop said earlier, he did go to four of the 6 places that were out there and bought something from all of them.
I couldn't make my mind up. I just couldn't decide. You know, it's like, oh, I like that. Oh, I love something sweet
And savoury.
all at the same time.
Have you got anything else for day one, Neal?
I think that should be enough for day one.
Yeah, cool.
There's a lot to take in.
Yes, absolutely. And that, like we said, if it's your first time, it can be slightly overwhelming. But yeah, just remember to take your time. There's normally spaces you can go to that are out of the way as well, if you do start to panic or need time to rest.
Yeah, one of the halls is kind of a gaming tables area that you can just play games, and normally that's a good place to chill out if you need to get away from all the crowds, especially on the Saturday is very busy.
Yeah, as we'll go on to say, day 2, the Saturday tends to be the busier day. I mean, we went one year, bank holiday weekend, wasn't it? And the Sunday was really busy as well.
It was busier than the Saturday, but that's been the exception.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we said, day 2, the Saturday tends to be the busier day. Obviously, it's the weekend. You know, it's going to be slightly busier. The punters there tend to move in a wave, I've found, on a Saturday. So if you can find out where the majority of people are, you can normally avoid massive crowds. Most people go to the first hall. So when last year it was hall 1, 2 and 3. This year it's 2, 3 and 4. So I believe in the morning everyone will go to hall 2. It's normally the pattern they go for. Go to hall 2 and then move on. Obviously, depends on who's releasing what. The year we had the Lorcana one, as we said, when we ran towards Lorcana, everybody was there on every day. As soon as it opened, Lorcana was rammed. I can see...
Pops is fine, he's not collapsed.
I can see Catan this year being busy. It's a landmark year for them. They have the 6th edition that they're showing this year. So that can probably be quite busy. They have a big stand that's normally right in the way of the door as well.
Yeah, normally they're quite a big area they have.
And they're a major sponsor as well.
Yeah, I think Catan are normally a major sponsor. One of my main takeaways for day 2 is take time. Like I said, there are a lot of people, and if you try and barge people out of the way, then it just ruins your day. It ruins somebody else's day. Just take your time, have a walk round.
Do be mindful that a lot of people normally have very big bags full of games on, so it makes getting by a bit more difficult.
Yeah, that is, like we said, if you are going 3 days, buy your games on the Friday. So then on the Saturday, you don't have to carry big bags around as well.
But to help with that, the Expo do have a shop and drop off area, so you can leave your games there and pick them up at the end of the day. Or what we normally do is drop them back off at the car, if you don't mind the 10-minute or so walk.
Yeah, absolutely. The taking back to the car has been a lifesaver a couple of days, hasn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely has been very useful.
Yeah. I don't really have much else for day 2. It is busy. If you can get stuff booked in on day 2, normally the best time to do it. You're going to be a lot of people around, but you know where you're going then on day 2. You don't have to worry about battling through crowds or whatever. You know exactly where you're going to go. So I tend to try and book more demos on day 2, because day 3 for me is written off because I take the kids.
Well, recently you've taken the kids. It's
yeah.
quieter as well, and seems to be more family orientated.
Yeah, it seems to be. Obviously, there is a children's zone that's open all 3 days. They do Dungeons and Dragons. They have big versions of the games. I'm going to say it wrong, but Asmodee, or however, Asmodee, whatever you want to call it, they have a family section as well. We spent nearly all of Sunday in the Asmodee family section.
Definitely most of it playing the different games there.
Yeah, and there's some still on my shelf. On my shelf, not even hers. Yeah, the main takeaway from day 2 is make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you eat. The amount of people you see that sit down after the hall closes in the open gaming area, and just you can see they're absolutely shattered because they haven't eaten, they haven't drunk properly. You know, it's all well and good having a few beers, but just make sure you're hydrated. I think, was it the second year we went where none of us ate and none of us drank for like 4 or 5 hours in 32-degree heat, I think they said in the hall, and we sat down and just felt rubbish. I don't know. You
you say so.
You normally carry a bottle of water in your bag.
Boy Scout.
Scouts honour. We'll move on to day 3, and then we'll let Pops have a talk. Tends to be the quieter day, as we said before. It seems a bit more family orientated. There's a lot more kids there that day. Like I said, for me, I take my 5-year-old and now newborn. Apparently, he's coming this year. On this day, it's a shorter day. It closes earlier, so the kids don't have to be there all day and all night. We'll talk about the open gaming in a minute, about times and that kind of stuff, what you can do. But it's just a nicer day for the kids to be there. For me, last year it was really nice to see my daughter like walking around, seeing the new games, trying lots of different things that she might not normally try. I mean, we played, what was it, Echidna in a candy shop. Did you play that with us?
I can't remember, I'm afraid.
It's a bit like Echidna Shuffle, but they had to go raiding candy jars and putting different sweets on their backs. But yeah, anyway, I didn't know whether she'd like it, and we ended up buying Echidna Shuffle from it. So that was really cool. It's always the best day to do your last bits as well. Obviously, like we said, some of the stalls will have gone because they've sold all their stock, and some of the stalls won't have anything left, but you could still demo and do that kind of stuff. But even though it's a shorter day, it's definitely worth doing if you've got the 3-day ticket. I know a few people that buy a 3-day ticket and then don't do the Sunday because they're out of stuff to do. Even if you just go and sit in open gaming and play a game from the board game library or a game that you've bought, try different things.
Some stores, but not all of them, might lower prices on the last day. So you might be able to get yourself a bargain, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, it tends to be your independent stores, doesn't it? You won't find Magic Madhouse or Chaos Cards lowering their prices because they'll just take it back to the warehouse and sell it online. One thing we haven't mentioned is the bring and buy. The main reason I haven't mentioned this yet is because it's now too late to put anything into the bring and buy by the time this podcast comes out. But in future, there is a place at the expo called the Bring and Buy, where you bring your games in and then they sell them for you, but you have to pre-book, and it is cash only when you go in to buy games.
You have to pre-book to sell your games, but anyone can just go in and buy, and it is, as Minty just mentioned, cash only.
Yes, and normally the biggest queue of the day.
Yeah, it can be very busy there.
Yeah,
but you can get some good stuff.
You can get wicked bargains in there. We went in a little while ago before we found out it was cash only.
Yes,
but yeah, I assume it's ebbs and flows. If on the Friday there's going to be loads there. I know last year they stopped taking stuff in for a few hours because it was too full. And then on the Sunday we went in, there was about 4 games on the shelves. So it ebbs and flows, but it's always a good idea if you have games to get rid of. Then there is that. I've seen a lot recently on Facebook where people are meeting up with people to buy games and sell games and trade games anyway. So it is a good hub for that as well. I haven't really got anything else. That's my first time guide. There is obviously Resort World is across the way from the expo itself. There's food places in there. There's an arcade. There's a cinema. If you're feeling really bougie, there's a Miller and no, not Miller and Carter. It is Miller and Carter. And a casino, And if you're feeling adventurous, there's Bears Grills experience where you can apparently swim with sharks and go on a zip wire and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, that's not a part of the expo and it's not a part of your ticket. That is paid.
That is separately.
Yeah.
Everything else.
That's what I was trying to say.
But outside that area is a green area, and normally there is a Viking village there, which has been great fun to go around over the years.
Yeah, I think, was it last year we played How Many Hats with Ginge? And
yes.
I think we got
quite a few.
Yeah, 8 hats I think in total he got on. That one of the helmets didn't fit him when we got to the Viking village.
No.
It really hurt his nose. But I think as Ginge won't be joining us this year, we'll probably have to do it in memory of Ginge. How many hats can we get on? And I think it'd really annoy him if we got the Mandalorian one as well, because they wouldn't let him wear that one last time.
Well, there's something to aim for.
Yeah. Have you got anything else that you would recommend to people?
As a general overview, I think we've covered most of what you...
Absolutely. We should probably mention where it is for people that don't know. It's at the NEC in Birmingham. And for people that know the NEC at Birmingham, if you don't drive and you are using public transport, the best way to get there is by train, because the train station is the NEC. It's a short walk. If you are one of our international listeners, if you are really international and not using a VPN, it's also the airport in Birmingham, which isn't far from where the NEC is. So if you do need to fly, there is that.
Insert Simpsons monorail song there.
Yeah, parking wise, it's quite easy to do.
But
I would recommend pre-booking. It's
definitely cheaper.
Much cheaper.
And if you are parking, don't be annoyed when you get there at like 10 to 9 and it's busy.
It's always busy.
Yeah.
Always queues to get in. There is a shuttle bus service that goes from the car park to outside the doors of the venue.
Yep.
For easy access.
For lazy people. And
tired
and
people.
people with disabilities and the older generation.
Or if you brought a lot of games.
Yes.
I'll have you know that I got a bus at an exhibition the other week at the NEC.
What expo did you go to?
I went to a practical car show. We've spoken about what you can do over 3 days, condense it down into 1 day. The preparation of looking on the website and seeing what's there and picking out what you have to see, and then fill the rest of the time with what else is available.
Absolutely, but also if you don't want to be that organised, there's nothing wrong with just walking in
Mm-hmm.
and having a look around. You know, the amount of games I've found from the expo, or not even just games. It's not just games. Jewelry, clothes, accessories, organisers, snacks, drinks, artwork. Yeah, my walls are full. Even though I still want to buy more.
Yeah, you seem to have this tradition each year of getting a new piece of artwork.
I bought 2 last year.
Yes. Catching up for COVID.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's just like if you're bored and you have nothing to do, go. It's not expensive to go to for the amount of stuff that's there. Just have a walk around. You don't have to buy anything. I think you went one year and you didn't. I think you bought one thing the whole weekend, but
Yeah,
then
it wasn't
went home
much.
and backed about 60 things on Kickstarter.
That wasn't that much.
Not quite. 58.
I suppose if anything, I'm a bad influence on you for Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. But now we've got Game Found and Stretch Pay.
I went last year and I didn't buy anything. I'm sure I didn't buy anything.
No, you bought something. You bought a game. You bought one game. I swear you did.
No, I really don't.
One eternity later.
No, I didn't. I was going to buy the Stranger Things game.
Did not buy a pack of sleeves or something.
No, I got those from up the road.
Oh, Manuscrew.
Yes.
Shout out to Manuscrew. That's normal.
Yeah. No, I didn't buy any. No, because I didn't even buy any Magic decks because I used one of your sets.
Oh, of course, yeah. You were going to?
I was going to, but I couldn't decide which ones.
Oh, okay.
So I ended up using yours.
So you just brought food?
I did just buy Charles Street.
All of the food.
All of Charles Street.
I think you bought a round as well, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did buy a round of beers.
Yeah, I forgot you'd done that. This year you're going to spend loads.
Well, I won't because my credit card's staying at home.
You know, we have to top up the board game shelf, so we've got more stuff to talk about on the podcast.
And now I have a board game shelf at home because of you.
I get the blame for that.
Take the blame for something, though.
True.
You don't have any space on your board game wall.
There's nothing behind Death May Die, apart from a load of stuff that was on the table. So there's still space there.
One space.
Yes. And we still have
From an entire wall.
all of Earth expansions to come and Dynagenics.
It's not going well for you.
It's going to go well, isn't it? I need a bigger house. Maybe a warehouse.
Good luck with that one.
I know a warehouse is currently for let.
We'll move on to things we're looking forward to. I think we'll go round, shall we? We'll start with a guest. Just because
Thank you very much.
that's throwing him on the spot, I think. What are you looking forward to, Neil?
Well, last year, me and Minty started Dystopian Wars. For those who don't know, is a ships war game on the tabletop. As usual, it's started small and progressively got much bigger.
Within a very short amount of time.
Yes. Well, we demoed it 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Liked it then, but didn't go for it because we decided that we didn't want to do too many tabletop games. But last year we decided to go for it.
Absolutely. It's incredible.
But this year they do have a new edition coming out in summer, and we're hoping they'll be demoing the new edition at the expo.
I'm really hoping. And I obviously informed you just before we recorded that the designer is James M. Hewitt. I believe that's a new acquisition for Warcradle. We've worked with James before on Hellboy with playtested.
That was a good day.
It was a really good day, and he's a lovely, lovely man. So I hope that all goes well for him, and I hope it's good. You know, Dystopian Wars is unlike any other tabletop game we have. It's
In what way?
I want to say more realistic, but that's obviously a stretch because it's.
A little bit of a stretch.
But like, the boats move on their own, and you have to account for that, and like with Warhammer, a model won't move unless you move it, whereas this one you have mandatory moves because it's a boat on water. It moves on its own. There's tides, there's currents, unless you have paddle wheels. Then it just adds to it, and the dynamics of having the victory and valor cards mean that you don't just need to stick to one way of winning or one outcome. I mean, we've played Warhammer a few times. You get to turn 2 and you know you've lost. Because,
on some games.
Yeah, on some games. Whereas this, it can just turn on a dime. I think it was it the last game we played where it looked like I was going to wipe you off the table, and then all of a sudden I lost nearly everything.
Which game were we playing?
Dystopian Wars.
Last game, I think you pretty much wiped me off the table.
Yeah, but there was a point it looked like it was going to be really early, and then it went the other way. I did a lot of shooting and didn't look like to do a lot of damage, and then it came along and it just wiped you out. But points wise and objective wise, it was still quite close.
Yes.
It was just
your alchemical.
Alchemical is insane.
Rubbish is frustrating.
We'll see what gets nerfed in the new one.
Well, it still gets changed. I'm looking forward to the fact they did mention on their article about the new edition that some players managed to do a small game in about 20 minutes.
A turn. A turn in 20 minutes. Yeah.
It would still be a good record for us because
we need to add a little bit of extra time when we play. We
are still learning
the rules, and sometimes you get a little bit, and we get a little bit of analysis paralysis. Where you go, I've got all this to do. What shall I do? And then you go and do it, and you're like, oh, I've killed myself because I've run my boat into an island because I didn't think about this, and not wanting to do that. But I believe there's less decisions to make. Well, no, sorry, more decisions to make, but there's a bigger impact on what those decisions do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I've not read that much into it at the moment.
I read that article you sent me because it had pictures of pretty new things.
Yes, yeah, I did notice that.
Those new hover plane things look really cool.
Yeah, you're not allowed those.
Oh.
So yeah, that'll be a fun one for us to try again. Next one I've got is Heroes of the Shire, done by Senior Games. They'll be at the Expo. Yes. We've met them past 2 years. They remembered us. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
A good thing, I think.
Hopefully.
He definitely liked us when we left last time after
our friend brought all of the money.
Yeah, he bought the entire set, everything you could buy.
Yes. So I have to see what's changed there. They do have a new crowdfunding.
Is that live now?
Not yet. Oh. The page isn't live, but it's available to see, and you can join up to get early access emails.
Oh, nice.
For all that will add another 20 playable heroes to the game.
As if it wasn't hard enough to choose already. It's good though.
Yeah, new campaigns as well. So looking forward to that one.
Nice.
Hopefully he's got demos of that there, or very close to.
Well, from previous years, if we stand and talk to him, he'll tell us quite a lot anyway.
Yeah.
He's quite a
very
open, very honest. It'd be nice to see him, chat to him.
Well, the same as that with, is it Mystery of the Library?
Horror in the Library.
Horror in the Library.
You
go there each year.
Blue Donut.
Yes.
It's out now, isn't it? The official one. And I feel really bad because I've got a pre-release version and I'm a little bit reluctant to buy a full version. I should. To be a good, customer, but not a lot. Well, we play tested. Did we play test it again last year?
I don't know if we played it, but I know each time you've kind of gone and he's remembered you each time and given you the updated rules each time. It's been really nice. Yeah,
there's a few faces that we see every year. We've got obviously the Heroes of the Shire guys,
Senior Games.
We've got the guy from Bramble Down Designs,
who you get artwork from each year.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's a lovely bloke. Normally wearing a ducky, rubber duck, Hawaiian shirt thing, isn't he?
Yes.
He remembers every year because of your... Is it Firefly?
Yeah, I was wearing a Firefly I Aim to Misbehave t-shirt, which was his artwork, and he was overjoyed to see someone wearing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously we've got Matthew from the War of the Worlds One More Day card game. Really interested to go and see him. I don't believe Pops has had a chance to sit down and play that one yet.
No, it was 2 years ago we play tested that.
Well, we were Ginge.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be really nice to. I've been catching up slowly on Instagram with him. It'd be really nice to sit down and see some of the new stories and play test that again. I believe he's built himself a dummy box as well. So
nice.
To see the inserts and that kind of stuff. Obviously, that goes to Kickstarter in the summer, he said. Maybe there was a little cryptic clue with H.G. Wells' birthday being in September. We'll have to see.
Who could say?
Yeah. Maybe when we do the cooldown, Expo cooldown episode, maybe we could drop a few hints. We'll speak to Matthew and see if that's okay first, though. We'll let Pops do a couple, shall we? So, Pops, what are you looking forward to?
Well, you know that I like card games.
Oh,
Love a card game.
yeah.
So some of the kind of grab my attention, and whether it's adults, kids, maybe everyone, by Sashi and Sashi, called Bus and Stop. So that's a new game.
Bus and Stop.
Yes. So it's a card game where you compete as bus drivers.
Wow, showing your age now.
Yeah, trying to bring your passengers to their desired
What was that
destinations.
old TV show?
On the buses.
On the buses, yeah.
I'll get you! See, I remember it. Yeah, you've basically got to get passengers on the bus without overcrowding your bus, and you know you pick them up or you drop them off to score points on each turn. Seems like a little fun card game.
Well, the motto at Tome Worms is, try anything.
Try anything.
Board game wise. I'm not suggesting anything else there. But yeah, definitely give it a go. It does sound interesting. Hopefully they've got like a play test, or if it's not too expensive, I'm sure we can just, write it off against the podcast.
Yeah, all that money that this podcast makes.
Yeah, so that's just keyword for convince my wife to let me buy.
A game. Yeah. Another game, Earth Abundance. Well, I'm sure you're looking forward to that one, aren't you?
Absolutely dying for that. Was it 2 years ago we sat down with, I believe his name's Damien. I might have got that wrong. Inside Up Games. We sat down with the family and spoke to them about Earth, play tested it, managed to get a copy, even though they sold out on the Friday. I still managed to pick up a copy on the Sunday. Don't know what happened there. But I've loved it ever since. Abundance was last year's Kickstarter. Hasn't delivered just yet. And last year they didn't have it to show. So hopefully this year they do. That does look incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Earth is in the top 10, probably my top 5 now, to be fair, games of all time.
Yeah, there's new mechanics in it as well. Player interactions, increased player count.
Did you see that they've also got another expansion for Earth? It's just launched on Kickstarter, Animal Kingdom. You add animals into the game. I know they're already there, card-wise, but now you get mini meeples of them, and they go on the different cards, and it looks just another expansion. And they've released, excitingly, a crate made by LaserOx to fit it all in. So I don't need, separate boxes. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely up for that one.
Iconic Studios, I think, will be worth a visit. So they've got Tomb Raider, the Crypt of Kronos.
Is the Crypt of Kronos the new one?
I believe so, yes.
Because we played a Tomb Raider game one year, and it was incredible, but none of us bought it. And I don't know why, and I haven't seen it since. So that could be quite cool.
Yeah,
so
they've
interesting to see if it's the same company.
So they've got a few games I want to see on there. They've got that. They've got Saw the Jigsaw Trials as well. Evil Dead 2, 1%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Monster Smash.
Monster Smash we looked at last year, didn't we?
Were they there last year?
No, we looked at it in one of the either Chaos Cards or
yes,
one of those places.
Yes.
Because it was near Rumble Slam.
Yes, it was, because I looked at Rumble Slam and thought, interesting. So Iconic Studios is probably worth a little visit. They are in Hall 3.
Oh, okay.
Stand 3A,
Lovely.
170. So yes, those are the games. I do have a few other little things that I want to go and look at.
Cool. We can circle back round to those.
But we can get back around those, because those are the games, but there are other little bits.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go through some of the games that I want to look at. Obviously, Dystopian Wars, as Neal has said. I want to see if the play test of that is there. I also want to check the size of Ice Maiden for Pops, because the army that Pops is looking at is the Ice Maiden.
It's
giant
huge.
resin. Yeah,
It's a massive lump of resin.
Yeah, I want to see if we can actually see the size of it. I'm interested in looking at that. Heroes of the Shire, just going to speak to the guys, seeing what's new, what's not. Obviously going to see Matthew at War of the Worlds one more day. Interested to go and have a look at Final Girl. Me and you haven't had a chance to sit down and talk about this yet.
No.
I played Pops' copy, and it was really good fun. It's a single player horror game, really good. When we went last year on the Saturday, Pops had told us he was interested in it. We found the stand with a massive bundle. I think it. What did we say it was? It was the highest grossing single player Kickstarter.
Oh wow!
And it's awesome. So I'm interested to see, because they'll have all the stuff for season 3 and then season 4 coming out. Definitely see if we can get a demo of that, because I think you might quite enjoy that as well.
We'll give it a go.
And obviously, Pops is going to spend his £3.50 at that store. I'm interested to go to Mower Ideas. Now, I haven't seen them since I worked there. I worked with Mower Ideas, demoing Tulip Bubble the year that they did that one. Now, I know they come from Asia somewhere and fly over especially. They're lovely guys, and their games are normally stocks and shares based. So you've got Tulip Bubble mini rails where you build track, but you have to buy shares in companies as well. I want to have a look at their. They've got like an orchestra one where you give money to orchestras, and then you kind of have to watch them build up and put them in the right place. And stocks and shares again. It's quite a cool concept, the way they've been. The guys are lovely. The artwork's always good, and their games are actually historically based. So Tulip Bubble is about a real event. Mini Rails is about a real event. So it's always nice to see that kind of stuff. And my wife loves their games, so it'd be nice to see them again. I think that's it for games, game-wise for me. Have you got any other games that you were looking at, Neal?
Nothing in particular, but there's all sorts of different smaller stands there with people that are crowdfunding ideas that they have, small stands, and there's all sorts of interesting games that we have demoed over the years.
Yeah, I was really upset about the was it Escape from Alcatraz?
Yes, that didn't succeed on Kickstarter.
And then disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yes.
Which was a real shame, because that game was amazing when we played it.
Yeah, very similar to Escape from Colditz.
Yeah, Colditz, yeah.
But yeah, we've demoed quite a few different games. The one that stands out the most is the War of the Worlds One More Day.
One More Day, yeah.
From all of those, I think there's a lot of fun, but we're a fan of that anyway.
Absolutely.
But there's been quite a few strange, weird and wonderful games that we've tested as well.
We played a weird dinosaur card game, didn't we, once? That was about like fighting velociraptors or something.
I don't remember that one. There was that like Power Grid one that we did.
Oh,
that energy game that we tried. It was meant to be kind of educational as well at the same time.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't. I think we were a few beers in by then.
You might have been.
Yeah, well, you were driving.
Probably.
Yeah, that game was cool to try. The concept of that game was amazing, but it didn't really have the draw for us to do it. I think they were there last year because they were actually selling the game.
Okay.
Because the year we went, they didn't actually have. Oh no, they had preview copies, didn't they? You could
I
pick
can't remember
something.
that.
But yeah, like you said, like it's nice seeing these little stands.
Then there was a kind of a hedgehog game. You have to go around collecting different parts that we did with your little one and family last
That's
year.
Echidna
Oh,
in the
that was
sweet
that
shop.
one, was it?
Yeah. So that's the Echidna Shuffle company.
So it is.
Yeah, I thought it was you we played it with. Yeah, no, that was really good. I've been looking for that version, so it'd be really cool to go and see them
Yes.
and find out what's going on with that because I can't find it anywhere.
Another interesting one, which was a unique concept, was a kind of ghost story game where you have to go around a house finding things, but you kind of play it with the lights off, and your characters have little light stands that they stand on, and you can see numbers that way to draw the right card. That was an interesting idea that we saw.
So we had a little conversation about this before we recorded.
We did.
It is now live on Game Found. It is AV Ghost second edition. We have discussed this game on the podcast before. There are a couple of reservations about it. My new reservation about this game is the price mark for everything. But when you buy everything, you expect it to be a little bit more expensive. I can't remember exactly what the base game is, but for everything, they want €199. I'm not 100% sure I want to pay that for that because I don't know how long the gimmick will last of playing in the dark. It's also now got an 18 plus rating on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Any particular reason?
Just because of the themes, they said it's better for adults. I think they're just covering their own backs, to be fair, because it could be quite scary. Apparently,
there's no actual jump scares in the game, though.
It's because of the app.
Oh, yes.
So, because there's a thematic app to go with it, whether it will scare kids. I know Pops was interested in this one. It might be one that we can look at. I know the magic of Game Found and Stretch Pay might entice me a little bit to have a look a bit closer, but I do kind of want to go and speak to them again. I will just double check how long the campaign is for, because if the campaign's running till after the expo, then I'm more likely to give to that one. But yeah, I do want to see those guys again. Just to get a rundown and an update on what's going on.
Yeah, I think because it's been quite quiet over the last 12 months since we last saw about it. When we were told it was due out to be launched like 3 months after the expo last year. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of losing my faith in it a little bit.
You don't seem to be the only one. Like we said when we mentioned it the first time we mentioned this game, I'm more than willing to give it a go. But I just want to tick off a couple more things in my head first before
you invest.
Yeah, before I jump in with that kind of money. But yeah, I mean, the concept of that game is incredible. I think we stood transfixed for like 40 minutes, and they were just talking. They weren't even demoing; we were just talking about it.
It was a very unique concept that we'd not seen before, and that intrigues us a lot when someone's collection is quite vast.
I'm not the only one with lots of board games, Neal.
Mine doesn't fit an entire wall.
There's a gap there. Yeah, I mean, finding different games now is really hard. It's become a challenge for us. But there's nowhere better to find a different game than the Expo. Like I said, finding these little gems.
The unique kind of lone operators, as it were, rather than the big companies.
So, I'm on their page. There's 16 days left on the at the time of recording.
At the time of recording, and the time of recording there is 25 days to go until the expo. So that's going to end before the expo.
Yeah. So the base game comes in.
Is this like the basic level that you can get it for, or does this include any little extra bits?
So this is the base game. So I believe there's a standee version and a miniature version.
Miniature, no doubt, is more expensive.
Of course. Sorry. I'm struggling to... Oh, there we go. So the miniature version is €125.
So how much is the standee one?
€90.
That's not a big difference. I would expect a standee to be half the price of a miniature. So I would say standee 60, 70 euros.
Absolutely. I mean, at 125 for the base game and the stuff that you get the 2 expansions with the all-in, and exclusive minis and all the stretch goals. The price going up to that, I'm more drawn towards if I was going to pay £125 for the base game anyway.
I feel like I get more for my money.
Absolutely. Euros, not pounds. Oh, euros, yeah. Sorry, euros. But yeah, like I said, there is a stretch pay, which is really always useful because sometimes, like shelving out that, if I had to shelve out for Dinogenics that I backed it at, then there'd be a problem. My wife would not be happy. She's looking at my bank account, seeing that. I can kind of slip the amount under the doormat slightly. She knows I've done it, and she wasn't happy when I told her I'd done it, but it was okay. But yeah, I mean, it looks as a small update to the last time we spoke about this game. Won't speak about it too much longer, but it looks like they've actually taken this game over from another company who only delivered to like half the backers, which is where the problem was originally that we were talking about. So it looks like that these guys will be okay. So don't know. Watch this space. We'll see if I back it or not.
Probably.
Yeah, it depends on what comes out between here and
Well,
there.
there is that as well.
Especially with paying for Earth.
Yes. Then another game that was there at the Expo last year was Avalon: The Riven Vale, which has now been released on Kickstarter and succeeded its goal.
You backed and
yes,
Holmes backed as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked very fun. The miniatures looked great. And
the concept of that game did look really cool.
It did look good with the map changing over time and going through different phases. It looked like a lot of fun to play. Very changeable with 4 different factions now that you can play as.
Oh, is there 4 now?
Yes.
Ah.
So a lot of variation in that, which is always nice.
Hopefully they'll have the new miniatures then.
That would also be nice as well.
Yeah.
Actually demo the game properly.
I believe it's the same company that do Oathsworn.
I believe it is as well.
Yeah. So that'd be interesting. They're definitely there, so.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have a visit and see what's there and what's changed.
Absolutely. I mean, because you and Holmes both backed it, I didn't. That's like with Nemesis. You went, I've already backed it, and I went, yay.
Yes. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty good list of games. I forgot we'd seen all those over the years, to be fair. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that if you can't afford a game, you just hope that Neal backs it?
No. Do you know what actually happened last time is I really wanted a game and I couldn't afford it. So on the off chance I sent it to Neal and he texted me back about 20 minutes later going, I hate you. I was like, why? He went, I just backed it at full. That was a result. I can't even remember what the name of the game was now. Oh, is it Grimhaven or Grimcoven or something? It was the first time we'd seen stretch pay on GameFound. And I sent it to Neal going, Neal, look at this. I think you'll really like it. In the secret hope that Neal would go, yes,
yes,
and buy it.
I'll have that. And look what he went and did. He went and got it. So, I mean, it was the only way I was getting Blood Bowl.
Yeah, Grimcoven. Yeah. Oh, what? Because I bought it.
50%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we went house. That was the only reason why.
Technically, I've now paid 100%. There's no need for the finger, Neal.
Yeah, technically you have paid
Yeah,
100%.
because I bought it twice. But yeah, sometimes it's good. I mean, we did it. I'm looking at Neal. I don't know why I do that. We're not in video. We did it for Gloomhaven. 4 of us split Gloomhaven, and it being a 4-player game really worked. Same with like.
It worked very well. It was just finding time for 4 adults to sit down and play it.
COVID helped, but then that was on Tabletop Simulator.
It still worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
While you're at the expo, another good thing to do is there's a games library where you can hire games.
Yes.
Deposit £10, you get a card, and you can hire out any game you wish. There is a library at the expo and at the Hilton Hotel with lots of games rooms
Yeah,
and
I mean,
space to play.
yeah. There's, I think Hall 4 has a massive open gaming bit this time. The Hilton has rooms and suites full of open gaming tables. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's a lot closer to the bar.
It is, but there's normally a bar truck in that hall as well, so
Yeah, it's
you're not too far away from refreshments.
what we tend to do is go into the hall all day, because why wouldn't you? And then once the hall closes, the gaming tables are open till midnight. So we tend to sit down, go to the game library, or sometimes I think we did it. Was it last year? We sat down and played a game that we bought because we were just too impatient.
Yes. Yeah, we've done that a couple of times, or even bring your own games if you so wish to.
Yeah.
We have had a massive game of Magic the Gathering.
A 4.5-hour game of Magic the Gathering.
It was about 5 of us.
6.
6 of us.
6 of us.
But not as bad as that one game of Magic, which lasted a couple of hours between me and you.
Yeah. Oh,
Just kept going.
2 decks that were exactly.
No, not really. I just refused to die.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, on 1 point.
Pretty much for most of that game.
Absolutely. A good thing that the Expo do on these open gaming tables is they have TV screens around, and it gives you a table number of people who are looking for gamers. So you can go onto the board game app / website and put in that you're a 2-player, but you've got a 4-player game and you want 2 more players to play with you, and somebody can come to your table and play with you. So if you are there on your own, because nobody in your family and none of your friends like board games, then you can find people to play with, which I found quite refreshing, really. I know some board gaming groups are quite closed. I wouldn't be opposed to people playing with us, but we're going in quite a big group. But there is that option there as well, which I find quite good. And like I said, it's open till midnight. So if you're
Plenty of time.
nearby, if you're staying nearby, or like us, just glutton for punishment, you can play quite a few games, get some beers, have some food, just chill really after the expo.
It's a nice way to wind down, relax after a busy day, and a chance to sit down as well.
Absolutely. And on that note, Chow Street is open slightly later than the halls as well. Not all of them, but most of them are still open till about 10 o'clock-ish. So that's always good as well. Talking about Chow Street, I'm looking forward to going back to Jabberwocky. So for those people that don't know, Jabberwocky is a toasty street food stall who've been there every year. We've been to the expo, and every year I've been and bought, at least 4 toasties over the weekend from them.
I didn't try them last year.
You have to try them.
I did the Greek, the crepes, the
English Indian.
and the Mexican.
The Mexican one's back as well this year.
Yes. And the waffles, yes.
Oh yeah, we did the
The
waffles.
waffles were good.
And then the really bad Subway.
Oh yeah, Subway was like the worst experience. Starbucks before.
Yep.
We all had a Starbucks beforehand, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, it's great if you like your food as well. I feel like there is that scope of having like a little food festival bit in there as well. Like you've got the little bit of Chow Street by the hotel, but I feel like there's you could expand on that there.
Oh, absolutely. But then, do you want to take away more space from the games?
Well, no, 'cause it's all outside.
Yeah, I mean, what was there? There was one year we went and there was another exhibition on. I think it was Comic-Con or something over the way. A cosplay thing, wasn't it? And it was we got if you went to the expo, you got free tickets to go in.
Mhm.
But they seem to have changed the weekend now.
That's another thing. A lot of people cosplay.
Yep.
So if you do like to dress up, cosplay, make your own outfits, go for it. You know, there's plenty of people there. No, there was a guy there last year. He spent 12 months building his own Space Marine outfit, and he looked
Really good.
really, really good. Yeah.
Really good. I do want to just mention quickly, Needhogger. We found this mead company last year. There are 2 bottles currently sat on the table here of exactly the same one, actually.
I think we should post a picture on Instagram.
We will do. Last year we went up and he offered us the Glug Glug train.
That was whoop. That was as good as the Ho train. Remember the Ho train?
I remember the Ho train, the Godfather. Where we got to just try all the different meads. They are just... I mean, me and Neal had done a whole bottle of elderflower mead playing a game of Dystopian Wars.
I'm not a big mead fan, but when we got on that train, opened up my life.
So good, so good. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. I know they've just released sparkling mead, so I'll be interested to see if they have any of that.
Pops is a new man now after trying that.
He doesn't do his diabetes any good. The last thing I want to mention is the Starship Simulator. I was really disheartened this year. I didn't think it was there. And then we went online today and, there it is. I'm not sure it's the same one, but it does look like 6 players can go in, each take a different role on the bridge of a spaceship, and you just have to fly it around and do different bits. It was great fun last year, so hopefully we can get on that again this year.
Yeah, I went a lot of good memories on that one.
Yeah,
you trying to be the science officer.
Yeah. I'm going to scan this ship. Can you not drive away? It's like, yeah, but we are being chased by, aliens. It's like, yeah, but I need to scan this over here. And the captain was just going, yeah, do what you want.
Yeah, that's how it worked out. I think the weapons officer had a great time.
Yeah, the weapons officer did, and so did Ginge on the comms, where he's just saying that, their mother was a space whale every time somebody tried to speak to us. Definitely good fun if you can give that a go. It's so fun.
It does set out very quickly, so
yes,
pre-book that one.
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna send a message out in a bit to everybody we're going with to see what day we want to do it. That's all I've got. Have you got anything else, Neal?
One more, a series of events over the weekend. There's lots of tournaments that play for different games. If you are feeling a bit more competitive and have played the game before, I wouldn't advise you to do what one of our friends did.
Oh, that was brilliant. Does anybody know how to play, was it Underworld?
I think so.
Warhammer Underworld.
He went to the stand in the expo, had a quick demo, because he already signed on to the tournament, and came last, unsurprisingly.
Shock horror. He came last. I can't remember what there is this year. I know they normally do X-Wing...
Legion, Keyforge has been there in previous years.
Yeah, they did Arc Nova because our friend did that last year. She came 3rd or 4th, I think, in the whole tournament.
Yeah, sounds
Something
about right.
like that. So that's always good. There's a Blood Bowl one, yeah. Obviously, Pop said I'd look at the Blood Bowl list.
But yeah, there's also something else to see as you go around.
Yeah, absolutely. You can not get too close, but you can view and watch and see what's going on. Pick up some different tactics for different things.
Maybe.
Yeah. I completely forgot about the tournaments. I think last year there was European Championships for Catan or something, yeah.
Yes.
Or a European qualifier or something like that. So I think they'll do that again this year. They've got, is it Karuka, which is the snooker on the big round board where you flick the thing. That's in the tournament this year as well. But yeah, that's tournaments.
Yeah, I think we've covered most of things that happen at the expo.
Yeah, pretty much. What have you got left for us, Pops?
It's a bit like Jerry Springer's final thought, isn't it? So, kind of loosely based on the tournaments, you've got Sir Coates Paint Masters this year as well. So there's a few different categories in there, so single miniatures, big beastie miniatures, and various others. Kind of again loosely based on that. Obviously, I want to go see Duncan Rhodes' Painting Academy. Go see what he's got. Check out his new little hobby case, because that looks like quite a fun little accessory to own.
That's up for an award, I believe.
I believe it is for best accessory. Go to Deep Cut Studios. They've got some of their speed paint markers on show, and might go and buy some of those so I can not get so much paint all over my fingers from now on. And Mark Burrows, comedian, he's doing a journey through the life and work of Sir Terry Pratchett. So if you like Sir Terry Pratchett,
Oh, is he?
head down
Is that
to
a show or is that a?
it's one of the. It's over in the hotel, so it's one
Oh,
of the
okay.
talks / seminars /
So
shows.
we've only ever done one seminar, and we did the Warhammer one year, and it just turned into everybody going, "We need more Necrons," and the Tau people going, "But what about Tau?" You know, like because we like to look at the games more than anything else. But I know some of the seminars have been incredible over the years. Lots of exclusives have come from those. A lot of game designers have done loads of seminars, and obviously there are shows as well. We didn't really talk about. I don't know if you ever remember the kids show Nightmare with a helmet. They're normally there.
Yeah,
You've got Dark Room,
you got
which
Dark Room. Sells out
it's every
ridiculous.
time, and apparently it's. I mean, we watched about 5 minutes of it before we got thrown out one year when I was working it, and it is funny. It's really good. So there are some really good shows. We'll just quickly talk about the role-playing tables. There are D&D sessions you can join. They are still looking for dungeon masters to do that, or game masters if you want to play something other than Dungeons and Dragons. We'll just put a slight warning in. Somebody has been banned for life. I'm not going to tell you exactly why, but he got banned because he thought it'd be good to throw certain people into a certain scenario without even knowing them 5 minutes into his session. So just if you are going to be a game master or a dungeon master, know your audience. You know, yeah, family friendly. Anybody can join those games. You're not playing with your best mates. You know, it can be anyone. But also keep in mind, if you are joining somebody else's game and you're not the dungeon master or whatever, it's not your normal dungeon master, just keep an open mind. They might play a little bit different to what you're used to, which is normally a good thing because you might learn something new or find something else that you enjoy. And I think that is officially nearly everything at the expo that we've just covered, including that bit.
Yeah, we've missed a lot. So if you're a developer, there's a lot of workshops
The
and seminars
playtest
and stuff.
section.
There's playtests. There's also seminars from companies that can produce your games and give you ideas, and designers, and so much on
And
that side of it as well.
There are podcasts?
Popcorns.
Popcorns. There are podcasts being recorded there as well.
Yes, there is. We're not, but we are going to do some on-site.
We're going to
Stuff.
do some stuff on site. Keep an eye on the Instagram. There'll be photos. There may be a face reveal for one of us. But yeah, and there might be a sneak peek at possible future merch that appears. If you do see us at the expo, there will be a little Spotify tag on the back of the t-shirts we'll be wearing, hopefully, if they print out properly. So tell your friends to scan it.
Let's see how many people will scan us.
Yeah, feel free to say hello as well.
If you do see a t-shirt, take a photo, tag us, and put it onto Instagram.
Absolutely.
We might.
We're talking like we've got loads of fans. I'm pretty sure like the 130 odd people that have listened to us is just our friends listening to it over again.
Probably. But we've got a few people on Instagram, not a massive amount, but
Yeah, we're doing okay on Instagram. We're going to try and do a bit more on Instagram, I think, going forwards.
yes.
Try to.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to for the expo.
And me. Have you got anything else, Neal? No? Lovely.
There's a shake of the head from the bearded wonder.
So we're going to move on. I'd mentioned last week that we're not doing everybody's favourite pop quiz this week. We're going to change it up a little bit because Neal will just annihilate Pops at board game quiz questions. So today we are playing. We're going to answer some questions from the game Absolute Boulder Dash. So what I'm going to do is read out the 5 categories to the guys, and they're going to give me their answers. I have pre-warned them that some of the answers are utterly ridiculous. But please let us know in the comments if you manage to get any of these correct, so that I don't believe you when you put it. Ready for the first question? The first category that we're going to be doing is events. So I'm going to read basically a statement, and you're going to have to tell me what the event is. Okay? So you write it down, and then I'll ask you what your answer is, and then I'll give you the correct answer if you don't get it right. I don't expect you to get these right. So, first event question. Every year in July in the Austrian town... Oh, I should have read this beforehand. Excuse my pronunciation for this first question. First events question. Every year in July in the Austrian town of Windischgarten, you have to prove to the locals that you have... What? Second category we're going to do is words. I'm going to give you a word, and you're going to have to tell me what the meaning of that word is. Okay? Your word is plum bum. That's Plumbum. Plum bum. The third category we're going to do is laws. I'm going to read a sentence out to you, and you're going to have to fill in the blank, basically. So, in Atlanta, Georgia, you are forbidden to tie... What? The next category we're going to do is initials. I'm going to read you some initials, and you're going to tell me what it stands for. Okay? It is SCCI. The next category is people. I'm going to read you a name, and you have to tell me what they're famous for. Are you ready? The name is Cornelius Swartout. That's Swartout. I'll show you the card. Obviously, not great for an audio podcast, but Cornelius Swartout. What was he famous for? Right, we're going to go through the answers. I'll read the question again, and then I'll ask you for your answers, and then I'll give you the correct answer if neither of you get it right. So, the events question was, every year in July in the Austrian town of Windischgarten, you have to prove to the locals that you have... What, Pops?
A sheep.
A sheep. Neal?
Prove you have to have hair.
Oh, okay. You're not going to believe this. None of you got it right.
Oh, shock horror.
The answer is you have to prove you have travelled the furthest to visit the town whilst wearing lederhosen. So Trappy was probably closest with sheep.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely that one.
I get a point.
No, you don't get a point. So that's 0 points each. I'm going to get Neal's answer first for this one. So the words question, well, the word, should we say, is plum bum. What do you think that means, Neal?
Probably related to Jack Horner.
And Pops?
Hemorrhoids.
Oh, hemorrhoids. So, plum bum is actually the scientific word for lead. Yeah, we learn something new every day. So, the next category we had was laws. In Atlanta, Georgia, you are forbidden to tie... What, Pops?
Your shoelaces.
Oh. And Neal?
I've put forbidden to tie knots.
Oh, okay.
Very broad and general there.
Once again, close, but not really. So, in Atlanta, Georgia, you are forbidden to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole. That's an actual law, apparently. Anybody from Atlanta, Georgia, could let us know if that's real. That'd be really good.
And why?
Yeah,
What's the story behind that law?
The next category is initials. The initials I gave you were SCCI. Neil?
No answer on this one.
No answer on that one. Pops?
The silly cucumber covered iguana.
You just literally just wrote 4 words. Shock horror, and if you got it right, it is Smurf Collectors Club International. Just 4 random words. So, the last category on this first card was people, and it was Cornelius Swartout. Pops, what do you think he's famous for?
I think he's the chairman of the German Sausage Party.
Oh. And Neil?
With a name like Cornelius, I think he's a vampire hunter.
A vampire hunter. Cornelius Swartout is famous because he patented the waffle iron. Last year's Pops would be very happy about that. I told you the answers were wacky, didn't I? Are you up for another card? So, the events question. Every 29th of October in Munshausen, Luxembourg, they have the annual what? The words question on this card. The word is snotter. That was snotter. SNOTTER. What do you think that word means? The next category we're going to do is laws. So, in Little Rock, Arkansas, it is against the law to blindfold what? The next category, initials. The initials are EDS. That's Echo Delta Sierra. The last category on this card, people. That your person is Levi Barlingume. So that's Levi, Levi, Barlingume. Don't know if either of you got a better guess at what that actually says. What are they famous for? For the answers, guys.
Let's say yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with events. Every 29th of October in Manshausen, Luxembourg, they have the annual... Neil?
I have the Luxembourg comedy show.
Oh. And Pops.
I've got the pumpkin pie throwing contest.
Well, shock horror to everybody. Neither of you got it right. So, on the 29th of October in Luxembourg, they hold the annual Little Boys Frighten Little Girls Festival. As we said before, it's random. Alright, on to the next one. Words. Snotter. What do you think that word means, Neil?
I have put down a toddler.
Nice. Yep, I can see the thinking there, Pops.
I've gone with a gardener.
Oh, wow. If either of you had any nautical knowledge, you might have had a bit better there. So, a snotter is a nautical term for a piece of rope that attaches to a ship's mast. There you go, like I said, learning something new every day.
Yep, I will forget that soon.
Right, the next category, laws. In Little Rock, Arkansas, it is against the law to blindfold... What, Neil?
A one-eyed donkey.
Oh.
A horse.
Oh. So, in Little Rock, Arkansas, it is against the law to blindfold a cow while on a highway. What was the cow on the highway?
I was actually going to say a horse at traffic lights.
So we've had a giraffe tied to a lamppost and a cow while on the highway.
What is going on in America?
I love the fact that that's a law. The next category is initials. We had EDS. That's Echo Delta Sierra. Neil?
Earth's Delta Squad.
Oh, okay. I like that one. That's a good one.
Everyone's dinner service.
It's something I believe I have. It's excessive daytime sleepiness. It's less silly, that one. Right. On to the big question. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name.
I think you should.
Oh, okay. So, people, Levi Barlingume is what we're going to go with. What do you think he's famous for, Neil?
I think, as we all know, he is the co-founder of Levi Jeans.
Oh, he's gone for it.
Oh, he's pushed it, whereas I've gone for a very sensible suggestion of he is the chief commander of the Michigan Boating Club.
Well, you'll be surprised to know you got it wrong. He had the longest recorded career of any professional jockey. He rode up until he was 80 years old when he fell off and broke his leg. Yeah, so I'm not sure this segment will come back, but something a little bit different. Let's do a QI and you're all the winners. Points mean nothing here. I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
It does mean that I didn't lose for once.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Neil, for joining
Thank you
us.
for having me.
Hopefully we can you'll join us again for the Cool Down Expo episode.
If you want me back.
Absolutely. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast, comment if you can, please. Hit the bell on Spotify as well. You'll get notified when our sporadic episodes come out. We are trying to be better at getting those out earlier. Once again, we are on YouTube, so please go on there, subscribe, tell your friends who don't have Spotify that they can now listen to the podcast. It is a audio only at the minute. It's just a picture of our logo for the whole thing. But we'll see about changing that over time. Pops has got some ideas about that. Follow us on Instagram. Please interact with us on Instagram. We reply to as many messages as we can. I think we've had one so far, so we're doing really well. 100% record. And I'll probably repost one of our posts with a new poll about The Matrix being the best film in the world, apparently.
Yeah, we'll put on stories.
Maybe we should ask Neil.
Yeah, actually,
Neil.
let's do Neil's. Let's do Neil's all-time favourite film.
How did this poll come about?
So, in the last episode, we were talking about legendary encounters.
Okay.
And we said that there was a Matrix version. And Pops turned around and said that it was the best film ever.
Assuming you're going for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I tutted, I think. My favourite film of all time is The Warriors. The Matrix is okay, but I don't know. What do you think?
It's good, but the trilogy isn't consistent.
No, there's a good one, and then there's a meh, and then there's oh my god, what am I watching? And then I haven't even bothered with the newest one. So you don't agree with Pops? Is that what you're saying?
No.
What's your favourite film of all time?
I would go with Lord of the Rings.
Which one?
The Lord of the Rings.
Which film? There's 3 films. Oh, he's going to leave you hanging on that one. Maybe we should do another one.
I think what we should do is put it out to the Instagram in the world and go make the decision for Neil, which is the best Lord of the Rings.
Somebody suggest The Hobbit, because that will really annoy him. Or is it, what's the new one? War of Rohirrim. Rohirrim. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll put that one out to Instagram, and then Instagram can decide what Neil's favourite film is.
I think out of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, my favourite one is probably... Let me get this right now. I've got this wrong so many times when I've said this. The Two Towers.
That's the second one.
Yeah. That's that one. 'Cause
That's
I
the
think
best one.
beforehand I called it something else that's very...
Towers of Two.
No, it's very inappropriate around September.
We're not allowed to talk about that on here.
But yeah, I think The Two Towers is probably my favourite Lord of the Rings film.
Same.
Nice. At least we agree on that.
One of the only couple of things that we agree on. We also agree that Green Bay Packers are shockingly bad last year.
Well, they did okay.
No, it was poor. Even they didn't get to the Super Bowl, so it was poor.
It's better than the Jets.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, this isn't a sports podcast.
No, it's not.
Or a film podcast.
No.
But anyway,
What's Neal's favourite film?
Yeah, we'll put the poll out. Thanks for listening. We'll be back soon with the cool down to the expo. Hopefully with Neal again. And we'll let you know how we all got on. Cheers.
Ta-ra.